Morning, thanks for joining me. My name's Mark and welcome to the first video on my channel. Nice autumn day, nice and crisp. Temperature's certainly cooling down a little bit. Not in my usual woodland. I've come for a drive out today, just a little bit of a scout around. I'm in quite a large pine forest in the Midlands here in the UK where I live. So whilst I was out today, I just thought I'd talk to you a little bit about a couple of items that I brought out. Firstly, there's a new Haversack that I've recently purchased. So not new, as in a new item, which I'll talk to you about in a little bit, and also a little item that I've carried with me, which is a Bushbox stove. So for those that are interested, please stay with me and I'll talk you through the items. So this Haversack in particular is a reconditioned vintage 1991 Yugoslavian Army Haversack. If I just open up the top here, we've just got a little stamp inside here, which the camera I don't think can pick up, but a little bit of writing there that I can't read, and 1991. It's actually come from a company in the UK called Winchester Camp and Adventure. Now they recondition a lot of ex-military equipment, everything from the Haversack, rucksacks, tarps, bedrolls, clothing, and I was reading with interest that they'd done some stuff for the latest Mission Impossible film and also the Top Gear series. So you know, certainly in the UK it's a company worth checking out if this is the kind of stuff that you're looking for. Now, like I just mentioned, heavy wax cotton, leather straps, steel fittings. The bag itself's over 25 years old and the condition of it's brilliant. I know the guys have done a little bit of work on it. They reproof everything. This one may have had new leather straps on it, but that's all better for me. And the cost of it was £45, which I thought, you know, if it's over 25 years old, if I can get another 20 years out of it, you know, £45 was a bargain. Just turning the bag around, I will show you the inside in a moment. Just get a bit of dirt and grime off it. We have got a bit of a padded area, which just makes things just a little bit more comfortable if you're carrying anything heavy. And just on the back as well, we've got these steel fittings. And when the Haversack actually came, it came with 3 sets of straps. At the moment I'm just using the shoulder strap, but the other 2 straps, I would say, there was no instructions with it obviously, would connect on the D-loops from there to there, down from there to there, and then you could wear it as a little day pack if that's the way that you prefer to carry it. And one nice little feature, just underneath here, is the heavy duty webbing. So that at the moment I'm just using just to carry just a cheap tarp, whether I'll just use it to sit on or just set it up as a quick shelter. And you can also strap something just in that side as well. So we'd probably take, you know, a thinnish wool blanket, or if you've got any rain gear or that kind of thing that you just want to carry, it just makes things just a little bit easier. So the Haversack's got a few pockets. So just starting off here, we've just got the outer pocket, which I've got a few items in at the moment, which I'll run through, the kind of things that I've brought. Now this thing that's sitting on top here, you can either just lay it on top, which is what I do when I carry it. Just folded over there with the flap. Well, this is actually a pocket which folds out. Now I'm not sure what the original use for the pocket was for, whether it's for a water bottle or carrying food or perhaps a mess tin or something, but the guys at Winchester you know, recommend that you can use them, which is something that I've been using it for, which is for tinders or wild edibles. You can keep it on the outside of the bag, so you don't have to keep opening the bag up and putting your things in. That'll just carry on the outside, and as you're walking you can just stuff items in it. And also I think when it's on top with the outer flap, it just helps just to seal things just a little bit more. And on the inside, which again I'll get to in a second, there's a little internal pocket just down in there. So just running through the pockets, starting off on the outside here. As you can see, a little bit of Velcro there. Would have been nice if it got press studs, but you know, it is what it is. Just starting off, a pair of heavy duty work gloves and the trusty Laplander. A couple of hanks of cordage, a little bit of paracord, probably 20-30 foot, and about 30 foot of bank line, and a little bundle of fat wood just over into the main compartment here. I brought a beanie, things are cooling down a little bit. Trangia mesh tin with bits and pieces in, and the stove, which I'll do a little review on in a minute just to show you. Fire kit, and water bottle and cup. It's 750ml, so 3/4 of a litre of water there. And just over here in the inner pocket, there's a head torch and a small little sighting compass. These are nice compasses. This is a Rector DP6, small little sighting compass. I have been using silver for years, but when it came to replacing the compass, I thought I would try something different. I've never had a Rector compass before, and chuffed a bit with it. Absolutely brilliant. And just hanging off the bottom there, just a small little set of paste beads. So the dimensions, I'll just close the lid back up here. Width of it is 11 inches, 10 inches tall, and the width here at the side is around about 4 to 5 inches. But you know, when you have got it packed out, it will obviously bell out just a little bit. So just giving you a little bit more bigger dimensions than what it says on the website. And just panning around really, the kind of kit that I brought today, as you can see, it holds quite a bit. And these are pretty much the standard items that I'd bring out on a day's hike or a day's scout. A little bit of food, water, something to start fire with, and just a little bit of a quick shelter. So if it is that you're using a small bag like this, obviously you've got to make sure that the items that you bring fit. Now if I'm using a bigger pack, I carry an MSR Seagull or a titanium cook set. But for this little haversack, I came across these Trangia mesh tins. Now Millets were selling these off at £2.50 each, which, you know, you can't turn them down really. And inside, again, making sure that you can maximise the amount of items that you bring is also filling in with items inside the cook tin. Now the item that I wanted to talk to you about was the Bushbox by Bushcraft Essentials. It's a German-made stove, sometimes known as a twig stove or a stick stove, and comes in a nice cotton bag which you could jar if that's needed. I've had mine roughly about 12 months, and as you can see there with the blackening on it, it has been well loved and well used. And stainless steel, quite springy, kind of thing I used to make when I used to work on a factory years and years ago, when we used to make fuse box frets and that kind of thing. And I do know from experience that this kind of material, you know, will last a long time. I've just laid the items out of the bag just on a stump here, and as you can see, you get 2, 4, 6, 8 parts. You get 2 sides, front and back, an ash plate and your grill, and 2 little trivets. Now your trivets are the parts which either your mug sits on or your pan sits on. So they can be fiddly to set up, but once you've done it a few times, they do get easier. So just starting off with one of the sides, pop in the ash plate at the bottom there, and also the grill. And then if you just get the other side, it's just a case of just lining up the little flanges just on the ash plate and grill, just with the grooves which are just in the bottom and the side there. Just like so. And then if I lay it on its side, it just allows it just a little bit easier just to line up the little lugs just on there with the lugs on there. So it's a case of just sliding them down. Until everything clicks into place. And that's pretty much secure. So when it comes just to putting the other one on, that'll just drop into position. And again, just clip them down like so. And your trivets, now they're not adjustable as such, but they have given the option here of having 2 little grooves in them and if you notice just there you've got 2 grooves where they line up and go into. So for argument's sake, if you've got a bigger pot on top and you want just a little bit of airflow running through it, you could just put the smaller ones in, and that just allows it just to sit just above, just allowing a little bit of airflow. Or if you just got a mug like I'm going to do today, I'm going to make a cup of tea in a minute, is you can just pop the bigger cuts in, which just allows it just to sit flush. Now I actually got this from off Amazon. I think I paid £30 for it. Like I say, they do come various different sizes, various different styles, and you can buy extras with them. You can buy an heavy duty bag, but at the moment I just keep it in the cotton bag. Another thing that I like to carry with me just in the cotton bag is just a few little pieces of fat wood, and that means then I've always got something at hand with the stove when it comes to getting it lit. Now fuel for today, I'm just going to be using just twigs and sticks, but if you notice here, just inside the stove, if I can get a shot of it, there's another slit there, and what that allows you to do is actually move the grill up, place it in there, and if you've got a transient meth burner or a spirit burner, it means then that you can use alcohol, and like I say, you can use various fuel blocks with it as well. I've just clambered my way through just a little bit, just to this down pine here. As you can see, everything's dry. Even though it's autumn, the ground's soaking wet. There was quite a bit of fog in the air this morning, which meant there was quite a bit of moisture here in the forest. So we could just use the twigs like this, but I'm going to cut off just a little bit of a bigger branch and perhaps split that down. Now sometimes, especially on a cold day like today, that they can use a little bit more fuel. So it's always best just to get everything prepared than what it is, just to get the water off, warmed up, and then have to run off and try to find more twigs or more fuel. So if I just take this off up at the top here. You sort of smell the resin in that. One little bit of a tip I can give you if you're looking for things like fat wood or resin in general is when the tree's downed, his gravity will draw everything back down to the bottom. So when I cut the stump, if I cut it a little bit closer, or if it was one of the downward facing branches on there, that's where you'd expect it to be collecting there. So I'll just take this back, get the stove ready, and we'll have a nice cup of tea. So that's the pine process. So just some small little twigs, a little bit larger, and just a few larger ones which I'll show you for fuel, and some birch bark which I had in the fire kit just to get the initial flame going. So I'll just fluff this up a little bit just to get a bit of surface area. And things have gone quite cool down here at the moment, so it'd be nice just to get a warm drink inside me. So what I like to do, we have got the feeding hole at the front there, but just to get the initial coals in there is just to build up just a steady supply of small little sticks. Don't worry if they're coming out to the top or hanging out to the side, things will burn down and start evening out just as the stove gets going. I'm just going to let that burn down for a second. So once the initial flames has died down, I just kept it going now, and as you can notice there's just a few larger bits of fuel in there now, and it's just a case of just keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it until whatever it is that you wanted to cook or whatever you wanted to warm up has gone through the process. Right, so that's going nicely now, so we'll get some water on the go. It's not a big mug, it's 400ml titanium mug. So what I'll do is I'll just pop this on, and once the cup's on, obviously you can't feed from the top anymore, so your feeding port is here at the front. And what I'll do is I'll just start my watch, and we'll just time how long it takes to get this water boiling. Now I'm not going to bore you to death with watching a cup of water boil, so once it's boiled I'll bring you back to it and just let you know how long it took. Well, we're just coming up to the 10-minute mark now, and the water started to boil. Maybe I could have got it going a little bit quicker if I had perhaps just put the lid off the mess tin, or a little bit of foil or whatever. Fuel wise, it's burnt very little, the fuel that I brought, so that's always a bonus. And the beauty of it is, if you're worried about fire, you know, certainly like I am today in a pine forest, you know, I don't have to worry too much because the ground is wet. But you know, if this was the summertime and you don't want an open fire, you know, these are perfect, you know, that you can cook food or warm water. And when they do cool down, all that's left in the bottom of this is just ash. So again, just let it cool down, and then you can just bury that into the ground, and no one will be any the wiser that you've been there, you've been cooking or you've been camping, or whatever the situation be. So I'm just going to take this off now, just make sure the handles aren't too hot there. And we've got a couple of tea bags in here, and then we'll have a nice cup of tea. Well guys, that cup of tea didn't last very long. It's only trouble on a cold November day like this. It just leaves me to say thanks for you stopping by and watching the video. Hope you found it interesting and informative. If you need to know anything regarding the Haversack here, or the Bushbox which is cooling down over there, please just leave a question. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I will put the links in just so you know where you can get them from. I've got a couple of hours of sunlight left, or daylight left should I say. So I'm going to carry on just having a walk around the forest, just see what's about. The crows are starting to gather, so they're probably getting in for roosting. Which brings me on to the subject of, I have got a few permissions for some shooting, which I'll take you along with me. If that's the kind of thing that you're into, I'll be going there in the next few weeks. And also I've got some overnighters planned, whether it be down at this forest here or the local woods where I am. So again guys, thanks a lot, and I look forward to seeing you again. Until then, take care.